Hello everyone, this is Group 3 and the topic for our paper presentation is Human Capital Approach in Estimating Macroeconomic Implication. India is experiencing rapid economic growth alongside rising life expectancy. However, there is a double burden of diseases, persisting communicable diseases and rising non-communicable diseases, especially among older adults. Health is not just an outcome but also a critical driver of economic growth, though enhancing workforce productivity and wage earning. The study aims to understand how health indicators impact economic growth across Indian states. India faces sharp health disparity across states and age groups, increasing year lived with disability and year of life loss signal more morbidity and premature mortality impacting productivity. The dual burden of diseases strain healthcare and reduces income by limiting level force. Regional health differences amplifying economic inequality and limit realization of the demographic dividend. So this study aims to quantify the impact of health indicators, including why years live with disability, year of life lost, and life expectancy on economic growth across Indian states, evaluating their role in aggregate state income. During literature review, we could know the two more common methods to study the health economic impacts whereby Minshearian wage regression, which uses micro level data and individual returns, and the second was aggregate production function, which was on macro level factors. So literature shows evidences generally shows health improves income and demographic dividend. Health improvement affect productivity, education, innovation, and fertility transition also. Recent research includes state level control like literacy and urbanization for robustness, which we also kept for our research. So the objective of our studies are to assess the impact of year lived with disability, year of years of life loss, and life expectancy on the aggregate income of Indian state using econometric analysis to examine the mediating role of literacy rate, urbanization, and the share of working age population in the relationship between health status and economic growth across Indian states. So these are our two hypotheses. There is no significant impact of health indicators on the aggregate income of Indian state. There is a and the alternative hypothesis says there is a significant impact of health indicators on the aggregate income of Indian state. So the data sources and the definition of variable we can see from here. So the variables which we used are share of YLD in working age group, share of YLL in working age group, literacy rate, life expectancy at birth, total net state domestic product, and level of urbanization, share of working age population, and the sources of data are also mentioned. So we can see share of YLD and YLL are taken from Global Burden of Disease data sources, literacy rate from Handbook of Statistics of Indian States, life expectancy from SRS, and total net state domestic product from Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So our analysis uses two econometric methods. First one is fixed effect panel regression. So to look at within state changes over time while controlling for unobserved state specific factor, we thought to use fixed effect panel regression. It because it helps us to isolate the effect of health on state income by removing constant state level characteristics like geography or culture. The second econometric method we use is regression based inequality decomposition by Shorrocks 1982 and Fields 2003. So we decompose income inequality into contribution from different factors, which is going to help us the share of income differences across state uh, by health, education, or urbanization, the different socio-economic indicators which we do. So while looking at the descriptive statistics, we can see average YLD and YLL rates differ across gender and state. Same with life expectancy for male and female. There we can see 3 year difference. And same for literacy also. And net state domestic product so large disparity across states. And same goes with urbanization. So these statistics we can highlight significant regional difference and gender disparity in health and education. So our So the our estimate to use fixed effect panel data regression was useful. So now looking at the results, we can see with yearly YLD, high disability years significantly reduces state income. A 1 log unit increase in YLD share reduces NSDP by about 4 log unit for male and 3.6 log unit for female. Similarly, for YLL, higher premature mortality reduces NSDP. The decline is around 0.8 log unit for male and 0.58 log unit for female. R-square value close to 0.98 indicate a strong model fit. Life expectancy, urbanization, and working age share all have positive and significant effect on NSDP. Long life, more urbanization, and a larger workforce increases productivity and output. So from this we can see disease burden lowers growth while human capital and demographic factors boost it. So while looking at the results for decomposition, so when we decompose income inequality across state, we find out that YLD explain about 3.8% of NSDP variation in the baseline, but after adding control for human capital, its contribution dropped to around 1.9, and with YLL, it explain around 6 to 8% depending on the controls, and human capital's variables like literacy, expectancy, and working age share together explain over 60% of the variation in state income. So while poor health is costly, improving human capital as a whole is the biggest lever for raising and equalizing state income. So this figure shows the regression coefficient plot showing effect of wild share in working age for male and female. So the regression plot shows wildly negative effect on income is significant across all Indian region. Western states experiences greatest income decline with increased YLD. Females see a higher magnitude of decline compared to male. This highlight health disparity across region and gender specific cost. Here all we can see YL share for male and female. So YLL share similarly reduces income at regional level with higher impact for female generally. Western states show a more pronounced income decline in male relative to other region, reinforces the consistent negative economic effect of premature mortality. Interestingly, the effect is stronger for female in most regions, which highlight the gender nature of health and productivity. This suggests that health policy intervention must be region specific and gender sensitive to be effective. So, in order to conclude, we can see health as a growth driver. So, health has a statistically significant and positive effect on income. Poor health reduces output, while better health raises productivity. Role of human capital, like education, health, emerges as the strongest component of human capital, explaining the majority of variation in state income. So, there are policy implications. Without deliberate investment, the positive cycle between income and health may break. We recommend greater public spending on healthcare and education to sustain inclusive long-term growth. Uh, so at last, our study has some limitation. So first one is aggregate state level data. So our study relies on state level aggregates, which may hide important variation within state disparity. So it cannot fully capture individual level health and productivity mechanism. And second, use of proxy measures, health measured by life expectancy, YLD and YLL. These are indirect indicators, not comprehensive. Literacy rate used as a proxy for education does not reflect quality or depth of human capital. And at last, uh, potential endogeneity and omitted variable biasness. Fixed effect and control included, but some unobserved factor may remain. Key influence like healthcare infrastructure, income inequality, or policy variation across state may not be fully accounted for. So this were the limitation for our study. Uh, Thank you.